So this is game number 3. It's a tough spot for one of them, as they are on match point, but spawning down in the lower left position, the blue Terran representing Mouse Sports, it's HeroMarine. He's the one in the happy spot. He just needs one more win to win the summer season. To the top right, his opponent, trying desperately to battle back into this series, to be in with a chance of taking the summer season. It is the red Protoss player, ShoWTimE. So ShoWTimE is being so ridiculously greedy. So greedy. His tech, his economy, he's going for it full force, but massively sacrificing safety to do so. He has next to nothing on the ground, and HeroMarine in both game 1 and 2 has been able to just move across with an SCV pool with a lot of Vikings and crush through it. We need to see, for ShoWTimE's sake, a bit more safety. He needs to make sure that he's able to deal with this push, because if he goes for the same build again, HeroMarine has shown convincingly on 2 occasions that he can just crush that army composition and that style of opening. And if ShoWTimE doesn't adjust, HeroMarine will win this game. Almost certainly. So what's it going to take? What will allow this to win? Maybe some early pressure. That could be one way. We could see some stuff going through. Although this map not ideal for it. Could see a switch up in the tech choices. We could see a lot of Blink Stalkers, for example, come on down. Maybe could even see just a complete straight up switch into going for more of a Charged Archon style play. We could see a little bit of a play going into High Templar first, which is something that some players really are a big fan of, trying to utilize those storms. We may just see ShoWTimE go for the same thing, but execute it better. The important thing that gets scouted here is the fact that we do not see a second gas. That's really important for HeroMarine, getting that bit of information early. If he saw the second gas, he'd be a lot more concerned about a heavy tech opening. Perhaps like that Stargate that we did see in game number 1 on King Sejong Station. Otherwise, HeroMarine, checking around, making sure nothing's being proxied. That's always a safe thing to do, checking. And really just making certain that he's not going to get caught by something that could really leave him quite upset. Adding in the second barracks now. So by keeping this all going, keeping all of this just really on course and not going for anything too crazy, is HeroMarine just following the same pattern he did in game number 1 and game number 2. Making sure that he's able to put on a little bit of pressure early if he needs to, make sure he's safe from anything, and hoping that his mid-game composition is just going to be so much stronger. ShoWTimE now. Adding in the Robo. So he is not going to be altering things, and my goodness, that scout from HeroMarine was so early. Oh, that scout from HeroMarine. That was so early right there. So it's seen pretty much as it's thrown down. This Reaper is an absolute hero. This Reaper has basically just told HeroMarine that it's basically the same build. It is the same build out of ShoWTimE, unless he really switches things up and goes for like a Warp Prism and drops or something. So what happens now? What will HeroMarine do in response to this? I wouldn't be in the slightest surprised to see him just go for the exact same build. Get a decent amount of infantry out, try and pressure, try and get on a bit of pain maybe before the Colossi are out if he can. Or he will just sit there and say, okay, I'll sit back, grab down the double star ports as I did in game number 2, get down a lot of Vikings, and then move out when there isn't really anything else to do. Now this is the third option, and what ShoWTimE could do is in game 1 and game 2, ShoWTimE did attempt the third base. Now the one thing that ShoWTimE could do is just go straight for a 2-base all-in. Just try and end this game. But I just don't know if he's going to be doing that. There's still only this one gateway. There's next to nothing on the field at the moment. Still, ShoWTimE, not out of this yet. Water production ramping up. Still no sign of a factory yet. And there is a little minute supply block there for HeroMarine, but nothing too much to be worried about. Otherwise, there we go. Factory coming on in. Should be starting up into that starport production, or starports once that's done. And I would like to see a couple of starports again. I think the 2 starports will really help. It'll allow the medevacs and that Viking count to really skyrocket quickly. And it's why that second game was even more convincing than the first for HeroMarine. ShoWTimE, on the other hand, he's adding in a Twilight Council. And now, he did do this in the first game. He got Blink out with it nice and early on. Still no third from ShoWTimE yet, although that would be exceptionally early. So I'm really just trying to keep a good eye on when that third, and if that third comes down. I'm hoping for ShoWTimE's sake that it won't, because that could run him into some problems. +1, infantry attack, coming on through now for HeroMarine. He's also got Stim. First starport is going to get side up, and I'm really going to be keeping a massively close look on whether a second starport gets started, because if he does, HeroMarine is just responding in exactly the same way as he did in game number 2. We've got first Colossus about to pop on out. The Mothership Core, of course, has a nice amount of energy. Already forcing that Photon Overcharge. And HeroMarine is just going for this. He sees no Colossus. And he's got a lot of damage here. He may even just be able to snipe this Nexus right here, right now. Gets it. Doesn't even actually lose that much for it. What went down there? 1 Marauder, 9 Marines, and a Reaper for a Nexus. That is the sort of trade that you want as a Terran player. And the trouble for ShoWTimE now is that he just doesn't have money. All of his money is gone. He's got a minimal income compared to that of HeroMarine, who's up on 2 bases with those mules. And HeroMarine, he hasn't even yet started the medevacs, he hasn't started the Vikings. And ShoWTimE needs to continue the Colossus production in order to fund this. But getting Colossi out and trying to pump out 4 gates as well is just not going to happen off of 1 base. ShoWTimE, he's trying to go for the third. And I don't really see what else he can do. That third base, he's just got to try and double expand. Otherwise, his economy, his late game, the long-term game plan here is all but over. HeroMarine moving in there, hitting at a time before the Colossus was out, realizing that he had that opportunity to snipe the Nexus, and he got it. The third is going to have to cancel. Nothing can be done to save that. The probe coming on over, going to try and remake that, dies as well. Second starport is coming on through now for HeroMarine. Should be starting up a reactor on that factory pretty soon. But all in all, still more medevacs coming on through. He should start Viking production shortly. But I fear that the damage may already have been done. Just denying that natural base for such a long period is a devastating amount of damage. The worker count is still slightly in ShoWTimE's favor. But then there's the mules for HeroMarine. HeroMarine taking his third. The Viking production is now starting up. And once that Viking count gets up, unless there's some other tech other than these Colossus, I fear it may be all over. ShoWTimE, losing that Nexus was just such a big loss. There was nothing he could do about it. He played this similar build every single game. What he needs to do now, if he wants to stay in this game, if he wants a chance to win it, is he needs to buy time. He needs to buy a lot of time. But HeroMarine, he smells blood. He's going for this double drop. And this is just such a beautiful decision going for this drop in. It's going to split up the already quite small army of ShoWTimE to try and deal with it. Luckily for ShoWTimE, he's got some great observer placement. So he sees so much of this. He knows everything that's going on. He knows the army movement, the army positioning. And that's allowing him to respond to this. And by responding, he may have enough time to get out that Templar Archives. But even if he does, it's so long. Third base for HeroMarine is now up and running. Morphing that into an orbital command now. Upgrades are in ShoWTimE's favor. He's got the 1-1 upgrades. He's starting +2. That's up against 1-0 of HeroMarine. So a small upgrade lead is there for ShoWTimE at the moment. The Viking count up to 9. And they're starting their advance forward. It's going to be seen by ShoWTimE. And again, ShoWTimE's observer placement really doing a lot. The boys are getting pulled though. Overcome those SCVs. And yet again, HeroMarine going for that push. This time though, he's already killed his opponent's natural ones. He's going to be moving forward to it, waiting for the Vikings. ShoWTimE knows they're coming. He's got to have the most incredible positioning for this fight. Does he have enough Stalkers? 8 Stalkers up against 12 Vikings. It's going to be tough. It's going to be so hard. Good force fields are going to buy some time. One of the Vikings gets sniped down. Nice blink coming down from those Stalkers. HeroMarine backing on out, allowing that infantry to move on forward, trying to get that damage through. Still the Vikings chase, though. The Colossi taking some damage. The Photon Overcharge is there. ShoWTimE is going to lose his Mothership Core, and one of the Colossi, the ground units doing all they can. Probes getting pulled, but down go all of those Colossi, and now it's just the infantry. The Vikings landing, dishing out just a little bit more damage. Some Storms finally going to hit the mark, but it's not going to be enough. GG, well played, and HeroMarine will take the finals of the ESL Pro Series Summer Season 3-0.